Innovation has always been the cornerstone of Michelin's presence in the world tire market. From the first detachable pneumatic tire in the early 1890s to the introduction of duals in 1908, Michelin has been identifying solutions to help truckers for over a century. With weight savings of up to 1,250 pounds and fuel savings of between 4 and 8%, the X1 tire is just the partner today's operations managers are looking for to squeeze more profits out of already tight margins. The X1 tire from Michelin, just the latest in a proud history of tire innovation. X1 tires have many advantages over dual tire systems. However, a major concern among driving professionals is how controllable they are during blowout situations, especially over a dual tire fitment. One of the biggest driver objections that must be overcome when replacing two tires with one is, what happens when the make cannot help carry the load as in a traditional dual tire fitment? The only way to answer that question is to demonstrate it by blowing out X1 tires when mounted on any vehicle position. Since their inception, Michelin has blown out a large number of X1 tires mounted on a wide variety of vehicles, such as concrete mixers, motor coaches, and tractor trailers, to name just a few. We wanted to prove just how controllable blowouts can be, no matter where they occur on a rig, whether it's the steer, drive, or trailer axle positions. What happens when we blow out X1 tires when mounted on a tractor-trailer configuration known as doubles? Doubles are just that, a tractor pulling two 28-foot trailers. Some of the advantages doubles have over standard tractor-trailer combinations include the ability to carry more load and the flexibility of dropping off one trailer at a predetermined location while pulling the remaining trailer to another location. We decided to blow out X1 tires when mounted on the convertible fifth wheel, as well as the last trailer position. Why these positions? Because driving professionals tell us that's where their biggest concern is for loss of control. For our demonstration, we used two 28-foot flatbed trailers loaded to approximately 83,000 pounds. We used a 4x2 tractor to pull the loaded flatbeds. In order to make this demonstration more realistic, we blew the X1 tires both at 60 miles per hour in the straightaway and at 45 miles per hour on curves. It will be an interesting day. We begin by preparing our tires to blow out by using explosives and a blasting cap. Let's begin with the curve. For our first run, we blew out the rearmost X1 tire mounted on the right side of the second trailer while traveling on a left-hand curve. To make it even more exciting, we blew the tire at the beginning of the curve and traveled completely through the curve to show controllability. Why the right side tire? To simulate a worst-case scenario. More outward force will be applied to the right side, or outer tire, while the vehicle is in a left-hand curve, making the vehicle even more difficult to control. The vehicle will first take a practice run. Our target speed is 45 miles per hour with a maximum speed of 50. The second run will be the actual blowout event. As you listen to the explosion, watch the vehicle closely for any type of violent sway or other types of out-of-control movements. As you can see, after we blew the X1 tire, the second trailer did swing to the right when we entered the left-hand turn. However, there was no loss of control. The X1 tire blowout was clearly a non-event. There were no sudden uncontrollable movements and no loss of control. Let's look at it again from another angle. We see the trailer swing to the right. However, there were no sudden, violent movements, no jackknifing, and certainly no loss of control. So what does the driver feel? We mounted a camera inside the vehicle to record all driver and vehicle movements during the blowout event. Let's watch and see what happens. Nothing. From the driver's perspective, there was no sudden jerking of the steering wheel and no sudden side-to-side movement. The driver maintained complete control throughout the entire blowout sequence. It's as if nothing happened. but something certainly did happen. As you can see, the X1 tire was completely blown out. However, the wheel flange did not ride on the road surface after the blowout, which saved the wheel. Also, the tire did not dismount from its wheel during the blowout event. And most importantly, there was no loss of control of the tractor. Now let's look at the controllability of the same trailer when we blow out an X1 tire mounted on the same wheel position while the vehicle is traveling in a straight line. Our target speed is 60 miles per hour. Here we go. As you can see, blowing out the X1 tire while the vehicle is traveling straight ahead is clearly a non-event. There was no loss of control and no sudden side-to-side movements. Let's look at it again from different angles. Nothing. Our vehicle proceeded in a straight line until our driver brought the vehicle to a final rest. Now, let's blow out a right side X1 tire when mounted on a convertible fifth wheel. Instead of blowing it out in the straight, we will blow it in the curve. Why the curve? Because we already know that a straight line blowout is clearly a non-event. The curve, on the other hand, presents a greater challenge. To keep our variables to a minimum, we maintained a speed of 45 miles per hour through the curve. Again, we will blow the tire just before the curve and travel completely through the curve on the blown X1 tire. Let's watch. As you can see, the vehicle tracks through the curve perfectly. This time, we'll look at it again from multiple angles, watching the vehicle as it travels completely through the curve. No trailer swing to the right. No sudden violent movements. No loss of control. Let's summarize. Today, we've proven that the most extreme trailer blowouts are certainly controllable. We did this at highway speeds, in straightaways, and curves on a fully loaded doubles combination. Steers, drives, trailers, regardless of where or when a blowout occurs, either on duals or X1 tires, it doesn't have to result in a catastrophe. As we've shown you today, blowouts are, without question, controllable.
Michelin, a better way forward.